That's good wine you've got here, Ho. Not too sweet, not too sour, and it has a good kick to it.
I'm pleased you like it, though I'm afraid you like it a little bit too much. At this rate, we'll run out of wine before we get back to the Imperial City.
I hope you're joking, Ho. You don't want to see me when I'm sober. You really don't.
I have an ointment you should try. Put it under your tongue, and it will stop your desire for alcohol. Well, more like replace. More? Well, I suppose I hadn't thought about that. Let's see. Distillation, crop variation, slide to 3.
Too long or too stupid, I'm not sure which. Besides, why would I want to do that? That'd be like taking away my urge to piss. What's the good in that?
Prosperous tidings. What can humble Ho do to assist you today? Perhaps in a little while.
Something's on your mind? Yes, I'd welcome the chance. I never really answered your question about how I tracked Gao down. It's not that bad a story if you still want to hear it. I lost the men who murdered my daughter, but there are other ways to track men besides following their footprints, something I know all too well. 8 years ago, when my wife passed away giving birth to Pin Mei, I decided to settle down. Before that, my life was less stable. Curses, you've uncovered my secret. Actually, the truth isn't far off. My wife and I met because we both operated outside the law. Not every girl likes pompous nobles or stuffy scholars. She and I saw eye to eye on many things, including living life to the fullest. You would have liked her if you'd met her, as long as she wasn't slipping through the upper window of your house to steal all your valuables. As I followed the trail of various slave trading rings, I started seeing connections. Strangely enough, all of them seemed tied to the Lotus Assassins. My question is, since it's so clear Gao is connected to the Assassins, could their order have similar associations with the whole slave market? Of course, I didn't know about the direct connection at the time, but I did find some tenuous links to Gao the Greater. By approaching it from the top down, assassins to Gao to slavers, I managed to piece together his involvement and learn the location of his base. My home was not far from Tian's Landing, so I'm certain that it was Gao's men who took my daughter. Meeting you and being given this chance to take the fight higher, I'm glad I chased that bastard down. It's good to be here. There's much ahead of us, but at least we have allies and friends. That'll make the road easier. Speaking of which, we should keep moving, don't you think? Always happy to help.
You have attracted a very odd minion in that girl Wildflower. I sense great conflict in that one. Tread lightly.
Sagacious Sue, could that be actual concern in your voice?
It would be a great inconvenience if we were all suddenly slaughtered. Now what do you need of me? That is an old wound. My departure from the Lotus Assassins was not gentle for either side. My immediate companions, those who were my brothers, fell by my hand.
Lim was not among them. He would have died if he was. I was labeled as the one who deserted, and I am occasionally recognized. The result is always the same. Another death, more blood spilled. Such a waste for a hatred they cannot even understand. Regret. I have no regret for killing anyone who challenged me of their own will. Death is a measurable cost of your actions. Some earn it sooner than others. Strength is the way of things, and death is the end, or should be. Some do not respect either. They have enough of one to defy the other. There is a place for the enforcer, the man or woman who brings death to those who have earned or otherwise deserve it. I consider that to be an honest calling. I did some harsh things while with the Lotus Assassins, but they no longer follow a path I recognize. They are a mirror of Death's hand, and he embodies corruption. You will see as you get close to him. He draws out the worst in everyone and displays it for all to see. You have no concept of the devotion of his followers. Perhaps we will talk again when I see more of where your path will lead you. For now, we should make our way to the Imperial City. That is where they took your master, and where we will find the heart of the Lotus Assassins. I've said it.
What do you want? You need to repair your ship? For the place you're going and the man you want to find? The Guardian says it's a mightier task than you think, but that you're special too. I think you're special too. All the others are people, but you're different. I like you. Is there anything else you wanted? About me? What do you want to know? You want to talk to him, don't you? The Guardian? I don't really know what to say. I don't really do much. I just go where the Guardian tells me to go, where we're needed. I trust him. He won't let them hurt me. The evil men, the bad ones, and the other. But he says not to worry, that none of them are here now, but they follow you, which is why we've come. Now we're needed here, with you. You're the last, he says, so we have to protect you, to make sure balance is restored. You hold the amulet and can use it, unlike... Oh, he says I've already said too much. He doesn't like me talking about him while he's busy. Maybe we can talk again sometime? But for now, not about that. Is there anything else you wanted?
The people of Tian's Landing owe you a great debt. You saved their town. Master Li would be proud of you, as am I. If you could spare some time, could we talk about... I'm not sure I can make my concerns fully understood. Our time in the ruins, the creatures we encountered, so much unrest. This was different from what I have seen before. There's pain here, but hatred too. The spirits around Two Rivers seemed aimless, lost. These are focused. I feel they would linger here, even without the support of whatever has increased the ghosts elsewhere. Are you saying that it was acceptable to leave people there to die? That they just lacked the ability to comprehend the necessity of it? I'm not sure I can support that position. No one deserves to be abandoned. I have personal experience with that feeling. I should not feel bad about it. I was not left to die. I was sent to study at the school, probably so Master Li could deal with my sensitivities. It doesn't compare, really. These spirits, they truly suffered and have a right to turn on those who left them behind. Me? I feel like my abandonment was partially my fault, but I was 3 and I couldn't help being different. I would have tried to fit in if I had been given a chance. That is an interesting opinion. I thought I was strong for not resorting to that kind of hate, but now I'm not so sure. As always, I have much to think about after speaking with you. Perhaps we can continue this another time.
What? What do you want? I remember one time I was hired by two warring clans. They were going to discuss a peace treaty, and they wanted me to make sure things didn't get out of hand. A bunch of fights broke out in the first few days, but after I'd killed a few dozen of their clansmen, they settled down. That's when things got boring. The leaders took the next 3 days to talk, and if they hadn't let me dip into their wine stocks, I might have snapped sooner than I did. The clan leaders were agreed on peace except for one thing, Jinlo, a beautiful clanswoman. Both leaders wanted her and neither would give her up. After 5 days, it looked like the peace would fall apart. It looked like the two leaders were about to come to blows over Jinlo, so I stepped in. It was my job to stop them from fighting, so I cleaved the wench in two and told them each to take a half. Seemed like a good idea at the time. They weren't too happy with my decision. Everyone turned on me. Of course, they all died, but they gave it a good effort. I don't know what they were so upset about. Better a quick death by the sword than the prolonged agony of your heart being ripped from your chest and thrown to the dog. Meh.
Yes? I'm a bit busy fiddling about with my thoughts. Ha! Marvels! You do have it! I truly wondered if your dragonfly would ever soar in the distant heavens. I'll make the changes immediately. None. Well, good. My beautiful dragonfly will...
Have you seen anyone matching the description? The Lotus Assassins are getting impatient.
They were very vague and wouldn't answer my questions. Are they even sure of who they are looking for?
Does it matter? Death's Hand himself seeks this one. Do you need any more incentive than that? Just question everyone. This person apparently caused a lot of damage in the south. Here, what about this one? At least it's a man, like they said. You, identify yourself.
By order of the Emperor and the Lotus Assassins, state your name and purpose for being in the Imperial City.
We are questioning everyone who has arrived in the city recently. You bear a resemblance to someone we are looking for.
I don't know. He is tattooed in a similar way. The clothes could be the same.
it's not enough to be sure.
We could hold him anyway. It's not a good match, but the Lotus Assassins would leave us be for a few days while they question him.
Is there a problem here, Captain? Well, is there?
No, Princess Leanne. We were questioning this traveler by order of the Lotus Assassins.
There is no need to pursue this questioning any further. You may go.
My apologies, Princess, but I was ordered to detain anyone even vaguely matching.
Captain, this man is here on a personal matter of mine that does not concern you. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, Princess Leanne.
Then unless you wish to be transferred to the wall, you will leave and continue your search. Well, we meet again. I've watched your progress. It seems I underestimated you in Tian's Landing. I have no doubt that you will make as much of an impact on the Imperial City. You claim great familiarity by calling me by my childhood nickname. All who know me here address me as Princess Leanne the Heavenly Lily. It is, as you can see, customary to bow in my presence. I think you are a little too bold for your own good, but I suppose it is my fault. I go out of my way to avoid fawning servants. That is why I often travel without official escort and occasionally present myself as someone less bridled by the rules of the court. You understand why I don't go into detail here in the street, don't you? With what I have to tell you, I don't want to lose that option of disguise. The whims of a member of the Imperial Court are not your concern. There are more important things that we need to discuss in private. I will not speak the location aloud. Take this note. We will meet nearby, but I must have a moment to acquire more fitting attire. That is quite enough. We will continue this at a later time. We both have questions that we will need answered. I am certain that my entourage would prefer that this take place in private. Your gruff nature is a bit too much for them. You are incorrigible. Get up, you lot. I'll be embarrassed for myself, thank you. Save your false modesty for my father's court. Don't be too long. My message concerns your master, and time is very important.
It would not have been proper for her to award it to you herself, but Princess Sun Lian requests that you accept this gift. She looks forward to your next meeting.
I've never seen anyone dare to say so much against the royal family and live to walk away. The distress you caused her handlers was a wonder to behold. Here, friend, take this with my compliments. I have never seen such a thing.
What a wondrous flyer you have. You don't see any of that design about the city. Since they became more common among the nobles, flyers have been fascinating to me. It would be an honor to say that I aided someone who was greeted by Princess Sun Lian herself. pleasure to be of...
The Imperial City. I'd always heard how impressive it was. The stories didn't do it justice.
This is all so much to absorb. I would appreciate your counsel if you have time to speak privately. Yes?
I don't mean to distract you. I just wanted someone familiar around me for a moment, if only to reassure me that we are still in the Empire I thought I knew. I have long dreamed of reaching the Imperial City, but now that I have, under these circumstances, I am more overwhelmed than ever. Get tough. I am quite capable of defending myself physically. Are you suggesting I harden my heart more than it already is? I already feel like an outsider. What good is there in pointless rage? I have no desire to spend my days growing bitter over things I can't change. Perhaps I do, but how can I rationalize away my concern for others? I spent a long time suffering people who did the same to me. As a child, I was marked by ill omens, apparently named for them. The people in Two Rivers were polite, but many did not hide the discomfort I caused them. I was watched, studied. If someone's ox died within a season of me bumping my head, it was somehow my fault, and I was treated like a pariah. How do you deal with being able to sense the spirit world when people make such absurd conclusions? That is horrible, but I see what you mean. That is where they got their fear from in the first place, from tales of witch women and sorcerers. I did not expect this conversation to take this turn, but I still feel better. I'm not quite comfortable with it yet, but I begin to see what has made you so strong. I would like to continue this later. As always, I have much to think about after speaking with you. Don't go too... That...
I can't believe my luck. I arrive home after being lost, only to find that my wife has gone off to visit relatives. I am very happy indeed. Instead of dying upon my return home, I am free. Until she returns, of course. As you... Yeah. Like, I was the tournament champion in Phoenix Gate when things spun out of control. My need for wine took its toll on my body. There are long periods I don't even remember. After one such period, I came to, having lost most of my clothes and all my money. I was destitute, and without the ability to buy more wine, I couldn't even fight. Eventually, I found work cleaning out creature cages at the local arena. One day, I was approached by a man who remembered seeing me fight. He offered to sponsor me. Just like that, I was back in the ring. After climbing my way back to the top of the tournament, my sponsor told me it was time to fulfill my end of the bargain. Apparently, the agreement stipulated that I must marry his niece. If only I had read the agreement more closely, I could still be shoveling dirt in the creature cages. Alas, fate had a crueler path in mind for me. Let that be a lesson for you. Always read the fine print, or you may end up with more than you bargained for. You're beginning to sound like my wife. Where were you last night? Why were you talking to that woman? Why do you smell like a goat? Always with the questions. As I mentioned earlier, after becoming tournament champion for the second time, I was forced to marry my sponsor's nubile niece. She is the reason I no longer fight. My disapproving dove did not care for my drinking, or for my friends, or my fighting, or my friends fighting. She believed I should settle down, be more respectable. At first I ignored her rebukes and continued fighting, but I soon learned that she was not a woman to be crossed. Prior to one fight, my duplicitous Daisy drugged my wine. I don't remember much of what happened next, which is fortunate. From what I hear, it wasn't very pretty. I spent the next several months under the tender ministrations of my doting wife. Needless to say, when I was well enough to walk again, I was more than happy to settle down. As to why I became a bondmaster, well, it's a hard, thankless job that keeps me very, very busy. Very busy. Not nap.
I trust your plans go well, despite the dangers you face and inflict. Is there something I can do for you? They are as powerful as fear allows them to be. Not the specific information you are looking for, I'm sure, but you did ask about my feelings. If their tactics have not changed, everyone fears them as children fear the shadows, never knowing what might come. They are not outlaws. Their orders come from Death's hand, and he is the will of the Emperor. At least, that is how it was meant to be. Pardon my outburst. Every act of the assassins has the approval of the Emperor. We were supposed to reflect his glory. That is why some actions should never have been ordered. The Lotus Assassins were once the Order of the Lotus under Prince Qin, spiritual advisor to the Emperor. During and after the attack on Dirge, changes were made. As flames seared the sky, enemies of the Emperor faced a new threat, Death's Hand. He assumed command of our order, and we began silencing people. Some were killed only to serve as warnings. Others had done nothing except be near his enemies. I am no stranger to death. That alone is not enough to disturb me, but I see only weakness in targeting innocents, peripheral to the real enemy. Weakness suggests losing the right to rule. Can you see how that shook my faith in the Empire? You seem to see why I had concerns. Perhaps you might understand. I have not said everything, and I have not yet decided if I will. But I see something in you that may set things right. We will see. For now, what else do you need? Goodbye.
There is something here. Some evil thing has happened here. It beats on my mind, and the Guardian, he can't hold it back.
You can't stop me from being here. I may not be able to leave, but I can talk and see. I see you, mortal. I am Yasen, the other of whom Chaika and this girl speak. They have suppressed me ever since we inhabited this body, but this place is different. The evil around me has given me strength, for now at least, and has opened potential doors. I don't claim to goodness, mortal. I hate your kind. But we can work together. If you help me, I shall help you. And I'll be much more valuable than the Guardian. Ah, who cares about her? She's just another insect. This is about what I can offer you when the time comes. What? No! Tricor! You won't make me go! No!
I'm sorry. We were fighting again. I'll be alright. Soon. Just give me time and I'll be alright.
What? What do you want? Too much talking and thinking can be dangerous, I should know. I remember one cold winter I took a job clearing rats from a local monastery. I was supposed to make sure the pests stayed out of the sacred pools, but hunting rats one at a time is boring work. So I had an idea, a way to catch them all at once. I convinced the monks to give me some of their sacred wine, and I filled the sacred pools. I figured if I could get the rats drunk, they'd be so much easier to catch. Nothing happened at first, so I helped myself to the wine. I passed out before the rats came. In the middle of the night, I was woken up by screaming monks and fiery explosions. It was just the rats. The poor furry buggers were just trying to get warm near the monks' fires after their swim in the wine. Not a good combination. The monks wanted me gone. I might have deserved the blame, but the abbot insisted it was a sign from the gods and closed the monastery. See what happens when you think too much? Whatever.
Always happy to help. What do you need? I haven't been to the Imperial City in a while. I traveled here some time ago in my hunt for Gao. In fact, this is where the hunt began. I've come full circle, and I think it's time to let go of the past and look forward. We have exciting things ahead of us. There won't be much time for that sort of diversion, but I can't help see the potential. In my heart, I know my daughter rests as easily as any spirit now. Whatever happens, I have that. And if we succeed, I know she finds peace. If I could go back, I don't know if I would. I'm a different man now, and while I treasure the past, I look forward to the future with the same warmth. Never. You left out the part about accumulating vast sums of ill-gotten silver. I'm excited to be back in the city. It feels like we're one step closer to our goal, but you know that better than anyone. You brought us to this point after all. Who else could have gathered this crew or found such a quick way out of Tien's Landing? How do you manage that kind of humility? Some sort of special training? It's good to see you still have a sense of humor. Some people mistake dry and boring for humble, and that's simply no fun. Given what we face, we need all the laughter we can get. Regardless, we have an empire to shake up. Let's go see how much trouble we can cause. Of course.
Well, well, is the Imperial City all you expected? It is quite a spectacle compared to the bulk of the Empire. The marvelous dragonfly performed. Yes, I think they are. Well, keep an eye out. I don't know why my... This looks familiar. Keep going. I have the urge to build something. There are memories in the route we are flying. Keep going. I see patterns, schematics. Keep going. I'll hammer it out. Almost there. Just a few more pieces to figure out. Our flight was great fun. Lots of explosions. But what does it mean? I think it's a clue. I hid something in my head because I was going to lose my memory, I think. One thing for certain, there was no destination. We ended where we began. The route was the important part. Let me show you what it inspired me to make. I'm not sure what it is. But it has a lever on it that... Here we go! And... nothing. Right? We're not dead, I think. That is decidedly disappointing. I was expecting... something. I must still need a part I can't remember. I need some time to think, to get my brain straightened out. This is most intriguing and infuriating. Give me some time. You know, it is true that I should be able to find what I need here. Let me rummage through what I have stockpiled. Just a few tweaks. Tight fit. Not sure how that will affect things. What's it? I don't remember seeing that before. Just get this last. There we go! It's ready. Now we can finally find out just what it does. After I name it, of course. Nothing works right until you name it. How about the confoundable minutia? What? No, impossible! I fixed it. I checked everything. It should work. Unless... No, I did that. Oh, where'd the city go? Well, that was anticlimactic. A flash of light, but no resounding boom. What good is such a light if Earth doesn't meet sky? What? Oh my. It seems we have transported to a heaven. A strangely familiar one for some reason, but I don't recall ever moving to such a place before.
It is strangely beautiful. We are clearly not in an earthly realm.
This place is completely unknown to me, or is it? I am compelled to take the steps this way. There are gears here that I remember.
Watch where he goes. We'll need him to get out of here.
Look at this. It's a marvel. A wonder of monumental proportions. A phenomenal piece of unbelievable craftsmanship. I haven't the slightest idea. But it must be important, wouldn't you think? I mean, just look at it. These machines, they are manipulators, fabricators. They bully energy into something. They can be Activated, deactivated, on and off and on. You see? I can only come to one conclusion. Lord Lau's furnace.
Kang, you are speaking nonsense. Lord Lau is a legend, an artificer of the celestial bureaucracy. His works are too fanciful to be real.
Legendary, mythical, and overrated in some respects, but if anyone else has a better origin for such machines as this, I'm not hearing it. Artificer to the celestial bureaucracy, he creates machines that themselves also create, although I'd make them a little less delicate had I his resources. Still, he is an inspirational figure for inventors, and we are in his playhouse. You select the machines you want to activate, and then the tiger or the dragon button, like this. Don't worry, the individual machines are not activated. I think the switches must be thrown on at least 2 of the components before it will do whatever it does. Well, judging by the pile of ashes I found near the controls, if you do it wrong, it either creates a nice warm fire or burns the person standing here to a crisp. It looks like a powerful thing, so just guessing at the possible configurations will probably get you into trouble and waste the cinnabar in the machine. So, you might want to be careful how you go about it. Things like this usually have directions. No, recipes. No, that's not it. Configurations. That's it. Very true. Perhaps you should give them a try. They didn't mean much before, but now we may have the tools to make something of them. Lieutenant. What an amazing machine. Now... Yes, amazing indeed. Of course, without more configurations, we'll never know just what it can really do. Well, given the rather fantastic nature of the furnace, I would bet that you found one previously in an unrelated endeavor. I'm afraid that is just the kind of continued uncertainty we will have to deal with. Keep your eyes open. Very well. In the meantime, I will try to see if I can learn anything more about this interesting machine. I can always bring us back here. Yes, yes, what can I do for you? Busy, busy. No time for chatty, chatty. Yes, yes, I am eager to return there. It is a masterful array of artful mechanics, despite being a bit overly polished. This Lord Lowry could use a bit of restraint. No, I have not had any new insights. I found a scrap of paper around the furnace somewhere. Off you go.
Yes? That is not really necessary right now. Although
Whatever the outcome, I have served Sun Li for many years, but there comes a time when all service must end. My final task was to direct you to the ruins. Now I am no longer bound, and so I step away. I have no further part to play, and I am glad for it. Perhaps history will clear my doubts and show my time was worthwhile. I wish you luck.
Yeah.
I'm not...
Oh no, you will.
Welcome. Did someone from the Black Leopard School send you? No, I suppose you don't quite look like one of their students. Well, no matter. If you're looking for weapons, I have quite a good selection and reasonable rates. Would you like to see what I have for sale? Here you go. There's quite a lot, so...
I love...
Look at this place. So many people.
The Scourge of the South has destroyed whole...
Greetings, citizen. Imperial Captain Sen at your service. Are you one of the mercenaries come to help me track down some criminal scum? If you are who I'm waiting for, you have some explaining to do. Admittedly, you don't resemble the ones described to me, but they're several days late. No doubt they'll blame it on the foolish ghost stories. I need help tracking down a pair of criminals. Are you interested in a little well-paying work? These two scoundrels have eluded my best efforts, so I'm turning to bounty hunters. It's harder to run when your pursuers are not in a uniform.
I see no problem hunting down criminals, so long as we don't draw too much attention to ourselves.
I'm searching for an arsonist and a notorious confidence man. Find and eliminate either one, and there's a standard bounty in it for you. Do you people have some sort of code that requires each one of you to bargain about this sort of thing? Ah, excellent. I haven't heard that one before. On sheer creativity, you've made your point. I'll add an extra percentage to both bounties and find some way to justify the extra cost to the Ministry of Harmony. A wise decision. The two criminals are Fading Moon and Creative Yukong. Fading Moon is an arsonist who was last spotted heading for the necropolis. Creative Yukong has virtually disappeared, though we may be able to learn something from Lady Rento, the wife of the man Yukong bilked. She's in the Imperial Arena. Fading Moon is an arsonist. Her first fires were in the poor quarters, but her last one spread to the Market District Gate. Last we heard, she'd escaped to the necropolis. Well, as I said, she confined them to the poor districts. She would have been impossible to catch in that rat's nest. More frankly, there isn't enough money to make it worth my effort. The gates between here and the poorer districts will be closed for some time while repairs are underway. There's nothing particular about the scene of the crime, just... Yukong fleeced some silver from Lord Rento, a powerful man in the Ministry of Harmony. Yukong is a master of disguise, and he has hidden himself somewhere in the city. Lord Rento is away on court business, but his wife informed me that she'd be in the heart of the Empire in the Imperial Arena if we needed her. You could start there. She knows the details of the theft better than I. Lord Rento was reluctant to discuss them. Yukong could be anywhere or anyone, and Lady Rento is the only lead we have. What else can I help? I know little more than what the Honorable Lotus Assassin presented. Some treasonous southerner has been undermining the Ministry of Harmony and causing countless deaths. Not as such. The Lotus Assassins want to deal with this traitor personally. I don't envy anyone who has attracted that kind of attention. Right you are. Remember to keep an eye out for anyone suspicious.
Out of sheer spite, the Scourge flooded ancient ruins, wantonly destroying our very own heritage.
Hold on there. This way leads into the necropolis, a dangerous area. You shouldn't go in there unless you have some business there. Yes, but I must warn you, the dead aren't the only terrifying things in the necropolis. They say the Lotus assassins have a special interest in the place. I have nothing more to say on that subject, and you certainly didn't hear that rumor from me. Captain Sen has you collecting heads for him, does he? Good for you. A woman did make her way into the necropolis some time ago. She seemed a bit wild around the eyes and ignored me when I tried to warn her. She certainly hasn't left, so if it was this fading moon, you should still be able to find her in there. Not at all. This is pretty light work, since no one in their right mind would go in the necropolis. Anything else you need? Talk helps pass the time on duty. Stay away from...
I greet you, sir. I wonder if you might have some silver to spare. I come from a very wealthy family. As such, I have a certain lifestyle to maintain. Parties, female admirers, lots of wine, you understand. I have to have an income, don't I? My father looked at my considerable expenses and told me to get my own silver. Ah, but I am a noble. The shame of manual labor or the stink of trade must not be allowed to touch me. How could there be shame? You've got it and I want it. Should I steal it? Never. Simply ask like a civilized soul, I say. I am afraid I cannot do that. That would be trade, and I simply will not sully my beautifully soft hands with such. I will tell you for free, however. I read all the greatest philosophers and consulted with wise men before reaching this decision. I assure you the philosophical underpinnings are quite sound. Wisdom is only gained by experience, wine, women, and song, as it were. But a life of revel with no reflection still does not lead to true wisdom. One must ponder, one must daydream. Even if I could bear the shame of sullying my hands with work, when would I think? How could I grow wise? Well, it loses some of the subtlety when you put it that way. But yes. I thank you. It's not easy for one such as I. I have it far more difficult than the impoverished beggars of this city. Farewell.
Your diatribe is derivative of populist works. Now see... Your parentage is below average, and your ancestry is of questionable worth. You dress yourself in the manner of a common laborer. Nobody's paying any attention.
Keep trying, just as I instructed.
Your physique seems exceptional. Clearly you are a peasant. A noble could afford sloth. Your breath is like the wind of an ox. Your last meal was of suspect quality. Your beliefs are superficial, and your culture is substandard.
You are right to demand an explanation. Forgive my servant. I instructed him to find someone not distracted by mere insults, someone who would command respect. Your demand for justification of his arguments was admirable. You are exactly what we need. An outlander strolled into the city several days ago and now sits like a cormorant taking what he wants from the river of our hospitality. He balks at our attempts to calm him and answers requests for payment with strange coins of questionable value. He needs to go. The outlander is not a dignitary or traveling merchant. He is a parody of civilized behavior. He spews insults at the Emperor himself. So far, he has escaped the notice of any higher officials. Perhaps he was mistaken for an actor in a troupe. But that will not last. If he is reported, the Lotus assassins will take notice. They'll want to know if he was harbored or his offense was encouraged. Guilt by association is enough for them. That's what's so infuriating. He doesn't respond to reason. He proposes challenges we don't understand, and then declares himself the winner. Several of our brightest have faced him, but as soon as they get the better of him, he sets off his strange firework and says they are beaten. Normally, the peasants like it when we intellectuals are maligned, but they tire of his presence too. Getting rid of this nuisance will endear you to many. I hope your ability matches your conviction. Several others have fallen short, despite their outrage at his antics. He is in the Scholar's Garden, and no amount of opposition has moved him. Please, I hope you will prove to be a worthy opponent.
The busy streets are almost overwhelming. It is hard to keep focused on what we need to do.
I didn't expect you in your strange training to make it to the Imperial City. You are proving to be a very interesting person. Of course, I could tell that just by looking at you. You have a very strong presence. As the Heavenly Lily, I am above suspicion, but I am restrained by fawning servants. Silk Fox can go anywhere, and people are not shy about their reactions. There is a thrill, of course, and it allows me to find information useful to us both. Death's Hand brought your Master Li to the palace a few days ago. I saw the flyer. He was bound in chains. He must be powerful, or you are. There was something familiar about him as well. Why would you say that? Is that what he told you? I'm sorry, but I simply cannot believe that your Master Li is the glorious strategist. Sun Li died 20 years ago. Everyone was told that he and Prince Qin, the third brother, fell defending the Empire. Now, it seems they may have been traitors. I discovered this looking through records for information on Death's Hand. Perhaps he tried to influence Sun Li and Sun Qin before corrupting my father. But it doesn't matter who your master is. I could take you to the palace, but Death's Hand controls what my father hears. He must be discredited for you to succeed. Death's Hand has almost total control over my father. We must find conclusive evidence of his crimes and reveal his corruption. And I know how. Construction on the wall has stopped for the first time in generations. The workers now toil in factories building powerful creatures of stone and clay called golems. Death's Hand could use these automatons to seize the Empire, and my father is oblivious. We must infiltrate the Lotus Assassins and find evidence of this treachery. We need proof of Death's Hand's intent from the seat of his power, the Lotus Assassin Fortress. It would be impossible to assault, so just walk in. They are recruiting. Have any Lotus Assassins who saw your face live to report back? I doubt it. They will not recognize you as the person who fought them in Tien's Landing. They have a vague description full of guesswork that has guards holding people at random. Besides, they expect an attack, not someone trying to catch their eye. I would wager that you may profit from their tasks too. Can you see the beauty in using their own methods of recruitment to fight them? I think they deserve it. There are guilds within the Lotus Assassins. Executioners look for fearsome warriors. Inquisitors are more subversive, and they look for cunning in their agents. If you prove yourself in the arena, they will notice you. My people can spread rumors of your interest. The Executioner will take a real interest when you finish the silver round. Or if you prefer, the Inquisitor recruiter is also seeking new people. He might be open to persuasion. Death's Hand rules over the Lotus Assassins, so I take special interest in their activities. I've had most of my life to ask questions. You suspect my motives? You have no reason to doubt me. If I wanted the Lotus Assassins to find you, I could simply tell them your name. Ask Scholar Dongao in the Scholar's Garden about him. Dongao is closer to the Assassins than he should be. He will tell you where to meet the Inquisitor. Or seek the Executioner. My people will spread rumors of your interest, and he will approach you in the arena. They like fighters who have passed the silver round. I will wait at your flyer, or I could travel with you. Before you get too lost, perhaps we should discuss how closely we will be working together. A wise preference. No offense intended to your amusing companions. Hello again. I enjoy our little chats, but I don't think anything has changed since we last spoke. I still need evidence against Death's Hand to free my father. Meet the Executioner in the arena, or speak with Scholar Dongao in the Scholar's Garden about the Inquisitor. Hurry, or you'll lose your chance to help your master. Did you like it? I thought you might want a little assistance. Consider it a small token of my favor. I thank you for your courtesy. A woman always likes to hear when her gifts are appreciated. It is difficult for one of my rank to give gifts, even one so simple as what I gave you. A princess is not normally allowed to show favorites. Better that I give it away before Death's Hand carts it off. He has been quite brazen. Besides, it was mine by birthright to do with as I wish. Must I always be dictated to by tradition, despite my respect for it? Sometimes I want what everyone else has, to be myself. And to be myself, I gave you what I wished. Not to hear him tell it. But true, the throne will be mine someday. Who is to say that I should live in the shadow of my father and his traditions all my life? That will be meaningless if Death's Hand keeps his hold on my father's mind. I fear one day he may try to interfere with the imperial succession. Or perhaps convince my father that he should be emperor by marriage. Indeed, we cannot. I would bite my own tongue before ever allowing that man to touch me. I'm sorry, I've ruined the mood. We should continue our talk another time. I wish you luck. Once you have gained the trust of the Lotus Assassins, we will plan how to proceed. Hello.
Let's keep things simple. If someone gets in our way, I trust your plans go well. Despite... It is a foolish idea. You do not understand the seductive nature of the assassins and what they do to recruits. It does not take much to make a person forget who they are. With a little effort, they can be pushed past any morals they might have claimed. Cloaked in service and honor, even the most depraved of barbarity soon becomes unremarkable. Perhaps you think so, but the enemy is fanatical. The rot begins high up, and it is embodied in the shell that is Death's hand. He was made our leader during the raising of Dirge. He replaced Sun Qin, who along with the glorious strategist, never returned from that campaign. That is how so many were driven to kill without cause, and why I decided no more. There was more to that event. You are right to sense it. But I have kept my silence for so long that I must carefully consider the repercussions of breaking it. I must inevitably deal with my demons. Your destiny demands it. But I must also know that those demons will be put to rest, not exploited. For many years, I did nothing. If I had known Master Li was the glorious strategist, so much could have been resolved one way or another. In the end, I will have to trust that you are enough his student to find a way to protect what I cannot. So you claim. I am not accustomed to words having such weight. We should resume your mission. You have far to go. Good. The time is coming, but not yet.
Anything is better than waiting around in the camp. Hello.
I am honored that you have chosen me. Yes? I like to Yes? I don't want to seem ungrateful for her help, but having Silk Fox here is causing me some concern. I mean, she is the daughter of the Emperor, and we do not know his role in Master Li's capture. Can she be trusted? So you don't trust her fully, but you invite her into our midst. I'm not sure I understand that, especially when she is so confrontational. I am not! Why would you suggest that? And why did you smirk? Are you trying to pit us against each other? Does it amuse you to see people compete for your affection? Your affection. Did I just say that? Well, damn you for being right. The situation is useful? Is that what I am here for? To be used? Will I be cast aside when you are done? This is how it starts, you know. Soon there will be whispers and strange looks. I've seen that before. I don't want to be a part of this. Not when you can leave whenever you want. What? What do you mean? Well, I don't know, I'm not used to thinking about that. I always felt that what came next was in someone else's hands. I've never been given that kind of choice before. I can't justify it. I look at how much I fear and I can't. I should fight more. I should spit more. I should slap the princess in her smirking face, and I should look at you without fear of what might happen. Because if I grow to need you and you leave, ancestors help me, you will regret it. Am I? Perhaps you should worry if you are worthy of mine. That is what you wish, isn't it? That I assert myself? I did not intend for this to go as far as it has this quickly. I am startled by what you bring out of me. I need time to think. You have introduced me to some interesting ideas. I thank you for that. I think I have been weak for too long. Don't go... Gift? That is not...
I'm not accustomed to following orders, but I will try.
Well, look who we have here. There's no princess to save you this time.
Do you think we'd forget? You can't humiliate us and just walk away.
Don't look at me. I can't do anything right now. Not like this.
We'll teach you to insult a guard of the Imperial City.
Leaping Tiger! Leaping Tiger!